When Rica Hotels decided to let Nordisk Film make this film, we felt both thrilled and excited, but also a bit worried, since one of the requirements to the film was that it had to be finished before the tourist season in 2009. And that left us with only 16 months to shoot, edit and complete the film. And that is not a long time, as what we wanted to do was to capture the nature and the people who live here and the people who travel here throughout a whole year, during the changes in all 4 seasons.
Since the film was without dialogue and was fully dependent on visual expressions and music, we chose Hallgrim Haug as our director. Hallgrim is also a cinematographer and has a strong eye for creating bold and beautiful visual images. Equally important is the cinematographer, and Marius Johansen Hansen, who is one of Norway's best young film photographers, was a natural choice for the job. The rest of the crew was also cherry-picked, and all in all the crew consisted of 8 people. Some of the equipment for this film had to be specially developed, since nobody had produced a film like this before. The platform used to mount the 3 cameras had to be designed, and so did the operating and synchronization controls. All in all, a great technical challenge.
Det virker veldig bra. Nydelig arbeid.
We wanted the film to have a certain flow, and decided at an early stage in the production to have some kind of movement in all the shots, either by using a crane or to move the cameras closer in on the subjects and the scenery. Consequently, we chose a movie bird crane for most of the production, since it both cranes and moves the cameras forward. The North Cape is definitely not just up the road, it's a long journey. The distance from Oslo to North Cape is about 2,300 kilometers and equals almost the distance from Oslo to Rome, Italy. It takes 3 days to bring the film equipment by road and 4 days in the wintertime, so the most reliable cameras and weather-proven equipment was chosen.
To ensure we had enough material for the film, we decided to shoot 5 sessions. Spring, summer, autumn and twice during the winter. But choosing the right time of the year doesn't necessarily mean you get the right footage. However, due to invaluable assistance from the local population, the spring shoot gave us a head start.
Springtime is very short this far north, and local people say it's almost over before it begins. So the first day on a production like this is always exciting. To rig the crane takes an hour, and to take it down takes about the same amount of time. So it's limited how many scenes you can capture during a day.
Hallgrim, første bilde.
Ja, det er helt fabelaktig. Vi kunne rett og slett ikke bedt om noe bedre vær. Det var fantastisk. 3-kamerariggen går. Det 4. kamera. Rolling. Det her kommer til å bli perfect, altså. Vi må bare jobbe. Da er vi klare da. For første bilde. Det er helt fantastisk.
The light is very bright up north, so the director and cinematographer had to take cover under a small tent to see what the cameras actually captured. This they found pleasant, so they more or less stayed in the tent throughout the production.
Kjør kameraene!
Da kan vi kjøre.
Å fy flåte, det var fett! Hæ, kødder du eller?
17th of May is the national day in Norway and is celebrated with flags, parades and marching bands throughout the whole country. Even in Skarsvåg, people join the parade. But this year it was a special celebration, since it took place 2 weeks before the actual date, due to the shooting schedule. The film crew could not stay for the actual day, but this didn't seem to stop the locals from celebrating as usual. And they didn't only parade once. To satisfy the film crew, they paraded for hours.
Ja! Veldig bra! Veldig bra!
Many different angles were shot of the parade. Lots of shouting and waving of flags. But unfortunately, as it often is in film production, only 1 or 2 shots end up in the final film. A certain sign of springtime at Magerøya is the coming of reindeer in the beginning of May. Nowadays, most of the animals arrive by landing craft or by lorry, while only a few years ago they swam across the fjord themselves. The reindeer come here to graze all summer and return to the mainland in the autumn. But exactly when they arrive isn't easy to predict, so it's important that the cameras are rigged and ready at the precise moment.
Klokka 10:30 på kvelden, her, 10 meter fra kamera. Skal det om forhåpentligvis 1,5 time komme 450 reinsdyr.
Hvilken blender har vi, Anders?
Med håpet at jeg ikke blir skremt av vår lille rigg og Marius som skal sitte under der. Og vi håper at det kan bli et fantastisk bra scenario.
And then it's just to wait, and wait, and wait.
Det er Marius som bestemmer når han føler at han har fått nok der, og når de kan da gå opp dit, så tar det bildet der i stedet for. Resten av crewet, ingen spredt på rundt der og like a bias, men bare står i ro, for å unngå å skremme regnet mest mulig.
The summer season is very busy at the North Cape due to the many visitors, and the summer months were important images for us to capture in the film. However, not only sublime nature, but the local people and their everyday lives needed to be portrayed, and cumbersome equipment was used to capture this.
Regissøren jobber ut.
Jeg tenker, den andre gjør muskelarbeidet, sant? Her er det viktig å tenke. Regissøren må tenke, det er mye ting å tenke på. Mens det andre, der kan ta seg av liksom muskelarbeid, så jeg må inn i tenkeboksen.
Tungt jobb, altså.
Ah.
3 mann ser på, 1 mann jobber.
Sånn er det. Anders til main man.
Sånn kommer det til å være i 10 dager. 12.
Han jobber veldig bra da.
The first camera assistant, Anders Legård, is constantly working. It's his responsibility that the cameras always function. And the most important task during this production was to keep the equipment dry, no matter where the shooting took place. Next to tourism, fishing is the main industry in this area, and many of the locals are involved in this line of work. On a fishing boat, it's business as usual, although this time it's closely followed by a camera and a small flock of seagulls.
Hei Marius, jeg er happy med det bildet. Var det veldig mye vann på linsa? Nei, det er bra. Det er jo fint. Strålende. Ta med det. Ta med det, rett og slett. Nei, nå er det puls, nå er det grill. Nå koser vi oss.
Hva er det de andre da?
Nei, vi blir jo aldri ferdig. De andre er nede og tar et bilde, og de burde vært her, for det er her vi skal ta bildet nå.
Catering is essential on a film set, even if it sometimes was a bit primitive. The favorite fare was hot dogs.
Ingenting som en ventebølse.
Vi kommer til å bli mette vi før de kommer. Tror det.
Visitors arrive at the North Cape in different ways. A few by foot, but mostly by car, by bus, or by mobile home. No matter the means of transportation, it had to be filmed, both in fine and foul weather.
Det er strålende da på jobb. Ja, det er det.
Været er rett og slett elendig akkurat nå. Klokka er 15 blank. Om 15 minutter skal vi egentlig være i lufta. Og filme hurtigruta. Der er sola da! Det er liten den. Men ser ikke ut som her går helt veggen, altså. Hurtigruta 15 minutter forsinket. Det passet oss egentlig veldig bra, fordi nå er det plutselig bra vær igjen, og det er jo helt utrolig å være her oppe. Det er jo bare værskifter i et banka kjør.